Compassion will come with wisdom. Every virtuous deed will have some wisdom also, and it is very important that we develop that discernment also, you see, because yes, sometimes you just want to give, but give is not necessarily good. Sometimes you give to people who are much more, you are conditioned to identify them as worthy. You see, sometimes we are conditioned to look on a character of someone and think, yeah, this one needs help. And another one, maybe dressed more smartly, who could also need help, you will not know. Say, they look like they're okay. And these are not reliable signs of one who needs help. You say you give to the animals because they are not likely to be begging you. Even a dog who is hungry, he's not looking and going, give me some food. He's not doing that. He may just see. You can see also his state, that this dog looks very undernourished and uncared for. And so that arises from you very naturally to go there. But also human beings can be tricky also. And so there is something in that, because also it comes back to your own self. You may feel that if you gave to one and not to another one, then somehow you are not being fair or something. Some people, they will only do this because of what they feel intuitively. They want to give, and sometimes to somebody who has no outer signs that most people would think this person is in need. So there are beings who are intuited, or they may even have a voice inside that says, go and give this person. Some people have a relationship in spirit that can be, who are told, do this thing, or go and knock on this door even. When the person comes, tell them that everything is going to be fine in another day. And they go, they have the faith, and it says, bang, 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 says, yes, can I help you? I just want to tell you, I know that you are having difficulties today, but God sent me to tell you tomorrow everything is fine. And they believe, and it turned out fine. What would you call that also? And then, of course, each one have their own way. You say you have an affinity for the animals, you see that as well. But you like to feel that for all people. For people, you need to exercise more discernment. Not in a tight way, you can relax also. And trust, I was going to say trust your feelings, but our feelings are not always trustworthy. Sometimes people like to say, but it is my intuition. But also your intuition is not necessarily clean unless you have elevated in your consciousness. So there are different factors that will contribute to how, now we're getting like beyond giving now. If you follow what I'm saying, I'm going broader than giving, in giving like this. As you become more conscious of yourself, you are giving even without giving also. So where do we go with this? We can keep it simple. You said, like, we're more compassionate towards people. Some years ago, one of the people who were coming, a young man who was coming to see me, he came one day and said, Babaji, I met this girl, and she is an amazing person. She loves everyone in the world. I said, yes? He said, yes, can I bring her to meet you? I said, yeah, okay. So he brought this girl, and then this girl, he told me, she loves everyone, and all she wants to do is travel around the world showing people love. Okay? Sounds great. But when she came and I met her, I saw also there's a lot of naivety in her, that she feels she could just go around and just hug people. Well, many people don't want to be hugged. You see? And then you might say, oh, they're not open to love. I said, no, you're very naive. You cannot do that. In fact, I want to see what happens if you go downtown in Brixton and do that. Because it's not going to go the same as maybe if you are in another place where people, hugs, maybe it won't go. So it takes a certain maturity. This was a very naive idea about love, that love means going around hugging people. And sometimes no, sometimes it is not that. Love is infinitely broader than that, but can include that if it is necessary. So the best advice I would say is continue in your own journey of self-discovery, because that will be the best informing service. It will not go this one and no, not that one, and so on. You will just be moving in your natural way. In a certain town, there was a man, a businessman, rich businessman, let's call him Mr. Big. He also was a man of faith also. So he was someone who would go and give to charities whatever he feel was something deserving of support. He would give to them something. So one night he went to sleep, and in his sleep he had a dream. God came to him and says, Biggie, you know, I love you. You are one of my children. I love you. You're a very kind person, very generous person. But I notice you only give to deserving cases, okay? To who you feel are deserving of your giving. I give to all beings, but I give them in accordance to their needs. He wakes up in the morning and he's full of excitement. He went to his chauffeur and he says, he said, Jeeves, you cannot believe what happened to me. God came to me last night. He came to me directly. And he said to me that, Mr. Big, you are a very, very kind person, but you only seem to give people who you think is deserving of your help. And so I feel like God is telling me I should be much more generous and not be so judgmental of things. Yes, sir, that's amazing that God comes to you. He said, yes. He says, I have a great idea today. I want to go and give some money to the most undeserving person. So he said, yes, sir, yes, let's get dressed. And they got dressed and they drove down to the bank and they took out a large sum of money, 100,000 euro in a suitcase. And then he said, take me into the town. So they're driving around and they're stopping and asking people, where will I find the most undeserving people in the town? So somebody told them, there is one little place down there, a little place near the park, where all these, dropouts, they hang out down there. You're going to find the person you're looking for. So they drove down to this place and parked the car, and Jeeves came out holding the suitcase. Mr. Big is standing there with him. He says, hello, and all these guys are hanging out. And he says, hello, can I have your attention, please? See? He said, this is Mr. Big, and today he's got a great offer. He is willing to offer 100,000 euro to the laziest person, the most undeserving person here. So, will the most lazy, undeserving person step forward and take this money? Everybody is... So he said, oh my God, what is this? This is... did they think it's a joke maybe? Show them the money. So Jeeves, hello, look, you see, real money, okay? I will give, Mr. Big will give to the most undeserving, the most lazy person here. Just come and take it. So they saw one guy, he was leaning on the bench, like that. And one guy say, go to him. So they went over to him and he says, I've come to you now. You've heard what I say. Mr. Big wants to offer you. You're the laziest person here. 100,000 euros. Will you accept it? He says, okay, okay, but only if you put it in my pocket. He said, I will accept it, but you have to put it in my pocket. So of course, Mr. Big then realized, no, this is not what God meant. No, this is far, this is not good. This is not good. And they put the money away, got back in the car, he drove away. And then he spoke with his chauffeur and said, yes, I'm very much learned something today, that it didn't mean the most undeserving in that way. Just anyone who I feel in my heart to help them with God's grace and guidance, this person I must find. So you cannot just be generous to everybody like that. It sounds nice, but it is not. People take advantage of you also. They will definitely take advantage. And some of the people who may come may look so desperate, you want to take off the clothes off your back to give to them. So I'm not speaking specific against anyone like that. I'm just saying all this is to somehow develop greater insight, greater discernment, and still have this heart which is generous but wise at the same time. You see, wise. You don't have to interview anybody. Sometimes also you spend bit of time with people, then you come to see more firsthand what is required, rather than just giving. You see, sometimes like that. It's a very broad subject. I don't want to be too specific about it. Just to take out maybe a certain naivety that feels that you just go and just... There's something about an interaction, and it's something about elevating in consciousness also, not just... But you see, I'm saying, I'm watching myself say this, and not just... It's all fine also. What is not fine is to give too much importance to it. Don't get stuck into only compassion. Compassion is very broad also. It may not only be limited to giving things. It can be to give your time, and to give your attention, to give your support, to give encouragement, all different things. It's not just to money or something.